All right. Okay. Let's just settle. And if you are in just sitting at your desk looking at your computer and your legs are down on the ground, just have them about hips width apart, knees about a hips width apart, and just feel the sensation of your feet in the floor. So whether you're wearing shoes or socks or slippers, or you have carpet or floorboards, just notice and feel the weight of the feet and the floor. Then feel the weight of you probably can feel the weight of the back of the legs or the sensation of the legs on the chair and the weight of the sits bones. Your hands are in your lap. They can be resting on your thighs or in the traditional meditation mudra. And as best you can, align your shoulders with your hips. So here you can start lengthening your spine, just putting it in an alignment. And then try and align your ears with your shoulders. So imagine your neck is lengthening and your ears, maybe they're being lengthened like little Dr. Spock ears, and then just gliding back. Put some length in the back of the neck. Not too much so your head is dropping down, but just a little bit. And so make sure the chin isn't kind of up too high. It puts a little bit of constriction in the back of the neck, and apparently that creates agitation in the mind. So, we're aligning ourselves in this way so we have the very best opportunity to meditate, to concentrate. And this particular sitting position is time tested by generations of meditators in both India and Tibet and Nepal and likely Mongolia, probably anywhere where there's meditation. This may be one of, conducive position in which to sit. So bring your attention now to the crown of the head and relax the scalp and the forehead, the eyes, the nose, the cheeks, the area around the mouth, the back of the tongue, the jaw, the back of the head, the neck, and allow your shoulders and shoulder blades to drop down and relax the throat and the chest. Relax your belly and your limbs. Now bring your attention to the breath sensations as you inhale and exhale. The nostrils, the thoracic region as the rib cage expands, and the belly. And be aware of any sound in your environment, any smells maybe. And then just, notice whether your mind is traveling out to investigate, and then just, try not, and just bring the mind back. Be aware that they're there, but just allow them just to be there. Then notice what's arising in your mind this evening. this morning. Maybe it's the middle of the day for you. I know we have some quite varied time zones here. So try and put some space in between your thoughts. Just check in with yourself. How are you today? How are things going? Be curious about the mind, about what's in there, about what you're seeing, and yet also try not to get involved in all the emotion and the story. Just taking a little bit of a step back and observe objectively, without any judgment, without criticism, without, attraction, without getting all in there. It's almost like you want to mind your business, you mind your own business about your own mind, if that makes sense. Sometimes we have a story going on and we want to get in there and gossip about it to ourselves, with ourselves. It's crazy. So bring to mind all these people of your life, your loved ones, your strangers, the ones you don't like very much, remembering they're all equal. The relationships are interchangeable and they're equal. They want to be happy. They don't want to suffer. And they have an extraordinary capacity, just like you, for enlightenment. So I think we'll do this Vajrasattva practice this evening in the context of the four opponent powers for all these people of our life, and by extension, all the sentient beings. So we start by thinking there is no negativity that can't be purified. The mind is pliable, it's flexible. It means it's impermanent and it can change. And as we just did in our Lam Rim, we did the last chapter on karma tonight. And Lama Yeshe said, it is never too late to work on your mind, to change your mind. Even if you're about to die in 5 minutes, it's never too late. So I think he's suggesting not to give up and to have courage and also have, faith in yourself. So this purification process is psychological. We create negativity with our mind. So equally, we can change it by creating positivity instead. So we start, first of all, with the power of regret. And regret is not guilt. Regret is a very powerful, responsible way of looking at the world. And even this idea of regret. So say, for example, you've lied to somebody because you wanted to get something you wanted. And then you go away and you kind of think, oh gosh, that was kind of I shouldn't have done that. I'll try not to do that again. So that in that way, you've actually weakened the result of the negative karma that you created with just that one thought of regret. However, if you lie to somebody and then you go away thinking, well, that really worked well, I think I'll try that again. I mean, you're just compounding the negative karma. You're rejoicing. So you're going to get the result of that. So regret is, and I've heard Rinpoche say this as well, regret is really a powerful tool for, weakening any negative karma. So it's a very important part of purification. So we sincerely regret from the depths of our heart anything we have done to harm any living being on this day, in this life, and in all of our past lives. And think of specific actions of both your body and your speech, and then in general, regret all. And the reason to regret is based on this logic of karma, and we experience everything due to our past karma, our past actions, and having harmed others, we will necessarily experience suffering in the future. And because we don't really want to experience any more suffering than we already are, logically it makes sense to remove the karmic seeds before they ripen as future suffering for us. So think like this. I regret from the depths of my heart having harmed others with my body and my speech, broken my vows because I do not want the future suffering. I'm sick of suffering, and also regret any anger, attachment, and the rest that are the cause of why we harm others. And then think, oh, I am sick of this suffering. And then think, what can I do about it? Whom can I turn to? So then we come to the power of reliance. So we turn to the Buddha, who we see as a doctor, who has these methods we can use to purify. And we're not needing Buddha necessarily to forgive us. We're looking for healing. So we purify ourselves by relying upon his medicine. So now you imagine Vajrasattva a little bit above the crown of your head, facing the same way as you. And you can also imagine this is the mind of your teacher manifesting in this form for your benefit. So he's made of this brilliant, blissful, radiant white light, sitting cross-legged on a white lotus and a moon cushion, and a beautiful, radiant face, and he's looking at you and all those people of your life, all those sentient beings in your life equally, with love and compassion and kindness. And his arms are crossed at his heart, the left underneath the right, and the left is holding a bell. This represents wisdom. The right is holding a vajra, which represents the indestructibility of compassion. Their being crossed represents the union of these two, enlightenment. To the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha, I go for refuge until I'm enlightened. By this practice of meditating on Guru Vajrasattva, may I reach Buddhahood so as to benefit all sentient beings. And then we just have a little bit on compassion. So in order to develop compassion, we need to rely upon other beings. So this is why it's in the section under reliance. People we've harmed, beings we have harmed, and beings who have harmed us. So those two groups make a strong wish for them to be free from suffering, particularly those who have harmed you, because the harm they've caused you is going to result as suffering for them sometime in the future. And then we start with this remedy. We start, first of all, with the body. And Vajrasattva very compassionately sends powerful white nectar, like coming out of a hose, quite forcefully from his heart. And it arcs around and enters your crown and pours into your entire body, filling you completely. And it keeps pouring into you until it forces out of your lower orifices all the harm you've ever done to any living being with your body in the form of inky liquid. And this pours out of you and disappears into space, not one atom left as we recite the mantra. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Drita Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpiyatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Drita Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpiyatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Drita Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpiyatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Drita Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta me boa sawa sidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me. Sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabala mahasamaya sata a hum pe. Vajrasafa samayam manupalaya vajrasafa dina patita. Jita meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa. Anarakta meboa sawa sidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me. Sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabala mahasamaya sata a hum pe. Vajrasafa samaya manupalaya vajrasafa dina patita. Trita meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa. Anarakta meboa sawa sidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me. Sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabala mahasamaya sata a hum pe. Vajrasafa samaya manupalaya vajrasafa dina patita. Trita meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa. Anarakta meboa sawa sidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me. Sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabala mahasamaya sattva a hum pe. So be delighted that all the harm you've ever done to any sentient being with your body is now completely purified, and think that there's no way you could do anything but benefit others now with your body. And next is the purification of our speech. So Vajrasattva very happily sends powerful nectar from his heart chakra, and it arcs around and quite forcefully enters your crown and fills your entire body, except this time forcing up to the top of your body all the negativity of your speech, which overflows and disappears into, excuse me, into space. Not one atom left. So imagine all the gossip and the harsh speech and the useless speech and lying and talking about people behind their backs, getting other people to agree with you. All of this is purified by the powerful nectar filling you as we recite the mantra again. Vajrasattva samayam manupalaya vajrasattva dina patita. Drita meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa. Anarakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me. Sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabala mahasamaya sata a hum pe. Vajrasattva samayam manupalaya vajrasattva dina patita. Drita meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa. Anarakta meboa sawa sidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me. Sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabala mahasamaya sata a hum pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya vajrasattva dina patita. Drita meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa. Anarakta meboa sawa sidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me. Sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabala mahasamaya sata a hum pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya vajrasattva dina patita. Drita meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa. Anarakta meboa sawa sidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me. Sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabala mahasamaya sata a hum pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya vajrasattva dina patita. Drita meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa. Anarakta meboa sawa sidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me. Sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabala mahasamaya sata a hum pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya vajrasattva dina patita. Drita meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa. Anarakta meboa sawa sidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me. Sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabala mahasamaya sata a hum pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya vajrasattva dina patita. Drita meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa. Anarakta meboa sawa sidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me. Sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabala mahasamaya sattva a hum pe. So now feel so happy that your speech is now completely purified, and imagine it's not possible to do anything other than benefit others with your speech, including yourself. And next is the purification of our mind, and Vajrasattva very compassionately sends powerful beams of light from his heart chakra, and this arcs around and enters your crown and fills your entire being. So you imagine you've walked into a room, it's dark in there, and you flick on the switch, and the light that comes instantly dispels the darkness. So you imagine the same here. The moment the light from Vajrasattva's heart hits your heart chakra, instantly the darkness of the negativity of your mind, your depression and anger and disappointments, anxiety, fear, bitterness, grudges, jealousy, all of this instantly dispelled, not one atom left as we recite the mantra. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita Drita mebowa situkaya mebowa sipokaya mebowa Anarakta mebowa sawasidi mimpiyatsa sawakama sita me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tathagata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabala Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita Drita mebowa, situkaya mebowa, sipokaya mebowa, Anarakta mebowa, sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me, sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan, sawa tathagata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a hum pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya, Vajrasattva dina patita, Drita mebowa, situkaya mebowa, sipokaya mebowa, Anarakta mebowa, sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me, Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tathagata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Drita Mebowa Situkaya Mebowa Sipokaya Mebowa Anurakta Mebowa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tathagata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Drita Mebowa Situkaya Mebowa Sipokaya Mebowa Anurakta Mebowa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tathagata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Drita Mebowa Situkaya Mebowa Sipokaya Mebowa Anurakta Mebowa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tathagata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Drita Mebowa Situkaya Mebowa Sipokaya Mebowa Anurakta Mebowa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tathagata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe. So again, be really delighted that all your delusions, which are the source of all of our own suffering and the cause of why we harm others with our body and our speech, are completely purified. And think that there's no space in your heart now for anything other than love and kindness and forgiveness and wisdom and bliss and compassion. So next is the purification of even the imprints of negativity of the body, speech, and mind. And this time imagine that Vajrasattva sends light and nectar, and it fills you completely and eradicates even the subtlest imprints of negative energy from the mind. So as we've been doing, the nectar flows down, purifying the body. The nectar flows up, purifying the negativities of the mind, and then the light comes and blasts the delusions in the heart area. So imagine this is all happening at once as we recite the mantra again. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita Drita meboa, Situkaya meboa, Sipokaya meboa, Anorakta meboa, Sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me, Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum ha 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 ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe and Vajrasafa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasafa Dina Patita Drita meboa, Situkaya meboa, Sipokaya meboa, Anorakta meboa, Sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me, Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum ha 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 ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe and Vajrasafa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasafa Dina Patita Drita meboa, Situkaya meboa, Sipokaya meboa, Anorakta meboa, Sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me, Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum ha 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 ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe and Vajrasafa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasafa Dina Patita Drita meboa, Situkaya meboa, Sipokaya meboa, Anorakta meboa, Sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me, Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum ha 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 ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe and Vajrasafa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasafa Dina Patita Drita meboa, Situkaya meboa, Sipokaya meboa, Anorakta meboa, Sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me, Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum ha 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 ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe and Vajrasafa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasafa Dina Patita Drita meboa, Situkaya meboa, Sipokaya meboa, Anorakta meboa, Sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me, Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum ha 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 ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe and Vajrasafa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasafa Dina Patita Drita meboa, Situkaya meboa, Sipokaya meboa, Anorakta meboa, Sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me, Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum ha 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 ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe. So now feel you're completely purified. There's not one atom of negativity left in your mind stream. Even the subtlest obscurations to your enlightenment has been removed. And now the final step is where we just decide. First of all, rejoice in your efforts, in your practice, and then just decide that you would like to refrain from harming others. And then think of something you'd like to work on, just something specific. Could be the speech, could be, anything. I think mainly for us Westerners, it's speech. But there could be other things. So make it a determination to, even if you can't think of anything, just become aware of something to work on. And then imagine Vajrasattva is delighted with us, wants to merge with your mind and melts into white light and absorbs into you through your crown, and think, my teacher's body, speech, and mind, Vajrasattva's body, speech, and mind, and my own body, speech, and mind are the same. So let's just, Rinpoche would recommend to meditate a little bit on emptiness. So in emptiness, there is no I, the creator of negative karma. There is no action of creating negative karma. And there is no negative karma created. So you can place your mind in that space for a little while. We can think of all phenomena as being empty. They do not exist from their own side. And another way to look at it is by thinking the way things appear might not necessarily be the way they exist. So let's just dedicate all the merit, all the positive energy you've created doing this practice to all living beings, and think, may all the virtuous karma I've created from doing this practice ripen as my enlightenment for the sake of sentient beings as quickly as possible. So let's just do chanting the names of Manjushri, wherever we're up to. 76. It's okay. I can read that. Oh, all right. Great Manjugosha sounds supremely loud, a roar unique unto the threefold world, the voice that reaches every bound of space, preeminent amongst all voice endowed. Chapter 8, The Wisdom of Discernment. He is a being whose fully realized truth, reality its peak and selflessness, supreme in propagating emptiness, unspoken, teaching both the deep and vast. The Dharma conch emitting piercing sound, the Dharma gong with lasting resonance, arriving at unbounded liberation. He is the Dharma drum in all directions. Okay, everybody, let's have a strong wish for His Holiness the Dalai Lama to live long, for the swift return of Lama Zopa Rinpoche, and for the long lives of all of your own teachers, whoever they may be. All right, everyone. Lots of love. I will see some of you tomorrow morning. And until then, sleep well. Have a wonderful day, whatever it is you're doing. Stay safe. Okay. All right, everybody.
Thank you, Venerable.